Good morning. This is Blue Letter Bible app. We do Bible in a year, read it chronologically. That way it can make more sense. Um, Today we're doing Deuteronomy 21, 22, and 23. How Deuteronomy is structured. Okay, you got Deuteronomy, before Deuteronomy 1, 2, 3, kind of a history. Deuteronomy 4, we start talking about uh, the Holy Covenant. Okay, the covenant made at Horeb. We get into Deuteronomy 4 through 11 is talking about the Holy Covenant. Then we get into the handwritten book of the law. The book of the law is 12 through, start getting into 29. They talk about both the book of the law and the Holy Covenant. Okay, so that's a little confusing, but you have to understand what the difference between the Holy Covenant and the covenant made in Horeb, which watch that Deuteronomy 18. I explain that the difference between the two. All right, and then also we'll be explaining it more when we get to Deuteronomy 29. Okay, but here we go with Deuteronomy 21. So this is more of the handwritten laws and judgment and ordinances. Okay. If one be found slain in the land which Jehovah thy God giveth thee to possess, lying in a field, and it not be known who hath slain him, then thy elders, thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take a heifer, which hath not been wrought with, when not drawn in the yoke. And so that is they'll be taking a female cow, a young female cow, and the elders of that city shall bring it down, that heifer, unto the rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and it shall strike off the heifer's neck in the valley. And the priests and the sons of Levi shall come near for them. For Jehovah thy God hath chosen to minister unto them, and them bless them in the name of Jehovah. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And the elders of that city that are next to unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And it shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Jehovah, unto thy people of Israel, whom hath thus redeemed, and not lay in innocent blood unto thy people of Israel's charge, and the blood of them shall be forgiven them. So thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do which is right in the sight of Jehovah. When thou goest forth in war against thy enemies, and Jehovah thy God hath delivered them into thy hands, thou hast taken them captive. And see the captives of the beautiful women, and that hast desired unto her, thou would have her to be thy wife. When thou shalt bring her home to thy house, she shall shave her head and pare her nails. And she shall put raiment on of her captivity of the offer of her, and shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother. Go forth, and after thou shalt go into her and be her husband, and she shall be her wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then shalt go with her, and she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. And if a man have two wives, and one be loved and the other hated, and they hath borne him children both, beloved and the hated, if the firstborn son of hers that is hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before of the son which is hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving it a double portion of all he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength, and the right of his firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that which he has chastened him will not hearken unto them, Then shall his father and his mother lay a hold of him and bring him unto the elders of the city and unto the gate of the palace. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, This is our son, which is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He will not obey our voice. And he is a glutton and a drunkard. Goodness. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? And all the men of this city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So thou shalt not put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Arise. So, when I explain the difference between the Holy Covenant and the laws given after, we don't no longer have to stone people. We just rebuke that sin. We just rebuke it. And if a man hath committed a sin worthy of death, and he is to be put to death, then thou shalt hang him on a tree. Yikes. And his body shall not remain all night upon the tree. Thou shalt have anywise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God, and that they be not defiled, which Jehovah thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. So you gotta, No, the laws of God were not bad. The laws of God are those that were given prior to the transgression. He gaveth, Galatians 3 verse 19 kind of explains, it's actually 16 through 19 explains it, and then all of Galatians 4. He gave laws after the transgressions. Ezekiel says that those laws are bad and that we shouldn't walk in them because they were given as a punishment for a time, and this is now I'm going back to Galatians, for a time until the seed should come. Okay? Now there's a difference between the laws given with promise. The laws given with promise, okay? So, you've got the 10 Commandments, which is the Holy Covenant, goes into the mercy seat, written on stone with the finger of God. Okay? Then you have the laws written by man, written by hand. Okay? So when we're, like I said in the beginning of the video, when you look at Deuteronomy 4 through 11, you're talking about the Holy Covenant. 12 on to about 29, you're talking about the handwritten laws and ordinances. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but what we don't want to confuse is the handwritten laws and the ones written by God. So you got your 10 Commandments, which we should live. And that is the Holy Covenant, the covenant of promise, which is Ephesians 2, verse 12. We should no longer be strangers to the covenants of promise because he comes. So there you go. And he came. Oh, check out my Deuteronomy 18 video. It's Deuteronomy 18 just a couple days ago. Deuteronomy 18, he sends his son to teach all that was desired in Horeb. Thoughts on the Iran war? Oh, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. All must come to pass. Do not fret. It's judgment, folks. It's judgment. He's going to use war, pestilence, and famine to judge his people. This is the beginning of sorrows, just the beginning of sorrows. That's why we're out blowing the shofar, telling people the sword's coming. The sword's coming. Yeah, Jordan. So which one they talking about? Which one they talking about? Sure is. Yeah. So let's figure it out together, Jordan. I'm looking for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Lost sheep were scattered in 2 Kings 2. But let me get back to this reading. I'll never get through it. Okay, thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or a sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them, and thou shalt in any case bring them unto thy brother. And if thy brother not be nigh unto thee, or if they not know him, then thou shalt bring it unto thy own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him. In like manner thou shalt do with his ass, and thou shalt do with his raiment, and thou shalt do with all lost things of thy brother, which he has lost, and thou hast found, and thou shalt do likewise, and may not hide thyself. Thou shalt not see the brother's ass or his fox fall down by the wayside and hide themselves. They shall surely help them, lift them up again. The woman shall not wear which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall that man put on a woman's garment, for all that so are an abomination unto Jehovah thy God. If a bird's nest be before thee in the way, any tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young and upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young. But if thou in any wise let the dam go, and take the young thee, it may be well with thee, and that thou may prolong thy days. When thou buildest a new house, then thou shalt make a battlement for thy roof, that thou bring not blood upon thy house, if any man fall from hence. So put a handrail around your house. And thou shalt not sow the vineyards with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of the seed which thou sown, and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together, and thou shalt not wear garments of diverse sort, as wool and linen together. Thou shalt not make thee fringes upon the four quarters of the vesture which thou coverest thyself. If any man take a wife and go into her and hate her, and he give occasion of speech against her, and bring evil upon her, and say, I took this woman, then I came and found her not a maid, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. Lo, and he hath given her occasion to speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter of the maid, yet these are tokens of thy daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall amorce him, and amorce him in 100 shekels of silver, and give unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up the evil name upon the virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife, and may not put her away all his days. But this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity not be found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door in her father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones, and that she die, because she has brought folly in Israel, and to play the whore in her father's house. Who shall put away evil from among you? If a man be lying with a woman and marry the husband, and they shall both die, both the man and the lay with the woman, and the woman shall be put away from evil from Israel. If a damsel is a virgin and be betrothed into a husband, and find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them out of the gate of that city, and they shall stone them with stones, that they die. And the damsel, she cried not, being in the city. The man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife, so shall be put away the evil from among you. So it's pretty important to put that evil away from among you. But remember, we no longer stone people. Yeshua came to make the law honorable. That's Isaiah 42. Okay? That means that we just rebuke sin. Okay, that's Leviticus 19, verse 17. Verse 18 is, and that's how you love your neighbor as yourself. Okay? Yeshua didn't make that stuff up. He's quoting Leviticus. But if a man find betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, he lie with her, then the man only lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is a damsel no sin worthy of death. As for the man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and betrothed the damsel cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find that is a virgin which is not betrothed, and lay a hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lieth with her shall give unto the damsel's fathers 50 shekels of silver, and he shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, and may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. Yeah. Okay, then, this is 23, right? Yeah. And Chapter 23, he is wounded in the stone. He that is wounded in stones or hath privy his member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Jehovah. Even to his 10th generation shall not enter into the congregation of Jehovah. An Amorite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Jehovah. Even unto the 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of Jehovah forever, because they met not you with the bread or with the water in the way when ye came forth out of the land of Egypt, because they hired against them Balaam, the son of Beor, and the poor of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. Nevertheless, Jehovah thy God would not hearken unto Balaam. Nevertheless, Jehovah thy God would not hearken unto Balaam, but Jehovah thy God turned and cursed into blessing, and unto thee, because Jehovah thy God loved thee. Thou shalt not seek their peace nor their prosperity of thy days. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is a brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land. The children are begotten of them, and they shall enter into the congregation of Jehovah in their 3rd generation. When the host goes forth against thy enemies, when ye keep thee from every wicked thing, keep thee from every wicked thing. If there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chance him by night, then he shall go abroad out of the camp, and he shall not come within the camp. But when it shall be, when evening cometh, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, whither thou shalt go forth abroad. And thou shalt have a paddle upon thy weapon, and then thou shalt ease thyself abroad, and thou shalt dig there within, and turn back and cover it when cometh for thee. All right, so you got to have a shovel with you so you can clean up your mess. And for Jehovah thy God walketh in the midst of thy camp and deliver thee, and to give thee thine enemies before thee. Thou shalt thy camp be holy, and he that see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee. Thou shalt not deliver unto his master's servants which escape from his master unto thee. Thou shalt dwell with thee, even among you, that place which he shall choose, in one of thy gates, where liketh him to beest, thou shalt not oppress him. There shall be no whore of daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite in the son of Israel. There shall not bring a hire of a whore for the price of a dog into the house of Jehovah. Thy God is for any vow, for even both of these are an abomination unto Jehovah thy God. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Unto the stranger thou may lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury. That thou shalt, God may bless thee in all thy house, and settest thy hand in thy land where thou goest to possess it. And thou shalt vow a vow unto Jehovah thy God, that thou shalt not slack to pay it. For Jehovah thy God will surely require it of thee, and it would be a sin in thee. But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee, which is gone out of thy lips. Thou shalt keep and perform even the freewill offering, according to thou hast vowed unto Jehovah thy God, which thou promised of thy mouth. Then thou comest into the neighbor's vineyard, and thou may eatest the grapes and fill at thy own pleasure. But thou shalt not put any vessel. When thou comest into the standing of corn in thy neighbor, when mayest they pluck the ears of thy hand? But thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn. Right on. All right, so there we go. These are the written laws, the handwritten laws and ordinances. Yeah, right on, Zelsia. Okay, right on, Brenda. End of times is coming. Yeah. So okay. Remember, when we read Deuteronomy, we got the history. Chapter 4, we go into the Holy Covenant. Okay, given at Horeb. Boom. That goes until chapter 11. chapter 12, we're talking about the handwritten laws and ordinances, judgments, all that stuff. Okay, so that is the laws given after transgressions. And I explain a lot of that in my Deuteronomy 18 video. Okay, Deuteronomy 18 is the prophecy of the coming Messiah. Okay, where God sends his son to teach everything that we desired in Horeb. Okay, speak all the words that came out of his mouth. When we hear, this is where we also get the voice of the Lord, where it talks about the voice of Jehovah. So when it's talking about the voice, that's what everybody heard on the day of the assembly. Okay. All right, guys, that's Deuteronomy 19 or 21 through 23. I'm going to go ahead and just turn around and make a different video for 21, 24, whatever day 78 is. I'll have to take a look again and see what day 78 is. I love you guys.